Greetings, loyal minions, beautiful humans. Welcome to the SciShow, the number one ranked YouTube channel for not being the number one ranked YouTube channel for anything. If that's you, I appreciate you. That makes no sense. The title of my video is It's Finally Happened, and you might be wondering what has finally happened. Well, the big news, I've been waiting for this moment my whole life. They've made a character based on me. I don't know why they didn't just call it Baby Sci, but we have Nibbles. It's just me sitting there eating the pie. Could not be any more me if it tried. Has the blue eyes, possibly a nappy. I don't know if that's what's going on, but they didn't quite nail the look, though. It's probably a little bit too cute to be me. Anyway, silliness aside, we are here to do a few reviews. I'll fire through them. We have Nibbles in the Covenant summon, 1.6% chance at a featured hero between 6. Pretty good heroes here. I did do a few pulls earlier and actually got a duplicate dagger. Unfortunately, I was hoping to get myself, but just couldn't do it. Also got a couple of heroes in the beach party. Yeah, I'll get to that later. On the Nibbles, Cleric, hits mana shield. Chance to resist those negative matter effects, that's fantastic. Can work against someone like a Fergus, so excuse me. That is great. We have the regen Aether Talent, so 420 HP over 6 turns. Nothing really to write home about there. I think he's going to win the award. I shouldn't say he. I think it's going to win the award for the cutest hero in the game. I think the women out there, I think I have about 4% female viewers, or 6 or 8 or whatever it may be. They're going to be rushing out to get Nibbles. Just throwing money away for him. Fox Family. For 1 or 2 heroes at the start of the battle, summons 1 or 2 Sly Fox minions for self with 2% health and 100% attack inherited from the hero. Has 80% chance to dodge, and when it dodges, it steals the latest dispellable buff. So hardly any HP, but they do hit quite hard. They can be great for farming if you have multiple ones of those, and especially someone else that can then make them stronger. But very good family, and also has the 50% decrease to healing for the enemy team. So straight up, that passive is extremely powerful. Go against some of those teams with 3 or 4 healers and boosters. It can just really make them a lot easier to cut through. Quite excited by the special skill, pour in every pie. Team power is obviously up there. The stats are pretty good, a little bit low on defense compared to some being very fast. That's probably a little bit understandable. There's a part of this skill that I love. It recovers 15% health for all allies, steals the latest dispellable buff from all enemies and randomly distributes them on allies. All allies get lasting 210 health regen per turn. So that lasts until it's replaced or removed. Cleanse is a little bit of a weird word because it should actually be dispelled. You're not cleansing it from yourself, it's getting dispelled from you. Anyway, that will be amazing, especially on offense. I think on defense, it will be a little bit... It can be annoying on defense. But keep in mind, the thing is, so it sounds fantastic, like lasting health. So you're getting 210 health every single turn, and it just never stops unless it gets replaced or dispelled. So on offense, you can be taking it against teams that don't have a dispeller. And once you cast it, you're getting 210 health every single turn. You're also getting the 15% health, being very fast. You can charge it up again in 6 tiles. So it's just going to be constant healing, which is just amazing. Now, keep in mind, 210 isn't a huge amount. So 15% health to start with. I'm just going to try and do some figures here. So 15% health is going to be around about, it's not huge, maybe 6, sort of between 4 and 600, depending on the overall HP. Then you're getting 200 per turn. So if you sort of talk about, it's going forever, but if you're just saying until it, it might take another 3 or 4 moves to get charged again. In that time, you've healed the initial 400 to 600 plus another 1800, plus another 800. So you're looking at maybe 12 to 1400, but that ongoing heal will just be great to replenish you. In my opinion, not so great on defense. It would be, I'd love to have it as a tank just to get that up and running and your heals just constantly. But the 15% heal, it would just become a tile dump. You're going to be smacking tiles into it. It's not boosting, so it can't ever go past 100. You just keep tile dumping until you had your heroes charged, and then you'd be able to take them out. So might work elsewhere on a defense team. I think it could be annoying once that kind of forces the enemy team to bring a dispeller, but it can be easily dispelled. So I don't think it's going to be on a lot of defenses. If it is, it may not be overly useful, but definitely a good hero for offense. Gives you heaps of flexibility, and I think it's going to be a lot of fun to use. And look, who just doesn't want to sit there and stare at a cute little fox? Anyway, that's what we have for Nibbles. Best of luck if you are pulling it for Nibbles. We also have the seasonal summon where you can use your epic hero. Oh, I didn't actually mean to use that. You can use your epic hero tokens to try and grab a seasonal hero. I will just mention, if you've already got Achilles, the hero of the month, you're better off to hold those summons. This portal is around for 40 odd days, 41 extra days. Keep it until next month. The other thing I would be advising is to keep these epic hero tokens until the next secret summon and the next mimic hero comes out. They seem to be happening every couple of weeks, so I know it's hard to hold on to those tokens. Now those heroes are out, you just want to try and get something shiny. But I would definitely be advising to hold on to those tokens because you can have a chance at the secret summon mimic as well. All right, we've got a few new heroes here, a couple of heroes in a costume. Andy J. I don't know, this guy looks so familiar. I don't know if I've just seen his hero card a long time ago from like beta images or something, but yeah, definitely looks very, very familiar. Sorcerer, which gives the delay, which is fantastic, lowering the enemy's mana generation, can be quite useful. Ailment immunity. Generally, the seasonal heroes aren't quite as good, so they can still be extremely useful. If I'm not as overly excited as I am about seeing myself seeing Nibbles, that's possibly why. So ailment immunity, that's good. Family bonus for 1+ heroes, 20%, 40%, 60% damage received, minus 20, 40, 60% damage received from damage over time status effects. That's quite niche. Come in very handy against those Untold Tales 2 heroes especially. Even the foxes that have the lasting frost damage and that type of thing. So you're getting a lot less damage from that. Passive damage over time on special. So when he casts his special, all enemies receive 14 water damage over 2 turns. It's a couple hundred a turn. And he's also innate resistance against water damage. Get rid of that. Nice thing. We see we have the same team power as the newer heroes. Generally, the specials just aren't quite up there, so we'll have a look. Pretty balanced. That's Blazing Rave Dance. That's slow speed. Deals 450% damage to all enemies. All allies except the caster dance the Blazing Rave Dance for 3 turns. Blazing Rave Dance gives plus 50% defense. If any dancer is hit with direct damage from a special skill, Blazing Rave Dance is extended by 1 turn for all dancers. The dance can only be extended once per turn. Okay. So why don't they just call it some sort of empowered defense instead of calling it a dance? It's not doing anything apart from giving defense. Anyway, that's okay. All existing status effects will be removed when the dance is added. Keep that in mind. It's going to overwrite everything else as it is a dance. Keep in mind there's also the Bard heroes. That means the dance will only last for 1 turn. Dance gives immunity to the new status effects. Yep, so we know everything about the dancers. Very nice damage, 450 to all. That's quite a big hit. Thinking of the hero of the month who does 490, I believe it was. Yep, to 1. He does steal a minion as well. So a very nice hit. Slow speed. I don't think he's doing enough to be sort of, come a new slow meta tank. Rush War is going to be very useful. Huge damage. Again, on offense where you can make sure there's no bards on the enemy team. Especially in Rush War when the specials go off so quickly. That 50% defense is going to stay. You're going to get hit very quickly. And you're then going to end up extending it. So it's just going to keep extending. You're basically just going to have 50% defense for the whole battle. So that's really, really useful. Again, bards and other dancers can override that. So pretty useful if you're into slow heroes. The other one we have is Serena. Probably should say a bit more about Andy J. There's not much to say. He's obviously going to pair well with anyone that does defense down. Elemental defense down. He's hitting all, so that's really nice. The dance, I don't know. The dance just isn't quite doing it for me. It's handy, plus 50 defense. But it'd be nice if it did a little bit more. Yeah. Apart from extend itself out. But as I said, you'll just keep getting that, so that'll be nice. Serena is looking... I don't even know what to say about that. I'm not a colour expert, but there seems to be a lot of clashing going on there. Master Withstand, chance to resist status ailments, that's fantastic. Counterattack, neither here nor there. It's only 60% for 6 turns. That early in the game, generally, if you've got your specials up, you don't mind if you're going to do a little bit of counterattack on yourself. So, yeah, neither here nor there. Same family bonus, minus 20, 40, 60% damage received from damage over time at status effects. Exactly the same passives. It does a bit of water damage, although that's actually less water damage per turn, I think, because she's quicker. So the slow dude was 292 over 2 turns. And we have 278 over 2 turns. Well, if we dial that up to max, it's 386, so a couple of hundred per turn. Resistance against water damage. They'd be handy to use against each other. They resist each other. Spreading Gossip. Runs at average speed. Not a fan of the name, as you can tell by my groaning. Anyway. Deals 400% damage to the target. Summons a Gossip Whisperer Fiend for the target. The Gossip Whisperer Fiend... Small Giant, can you just stop making me say these stupid things? Disappears after absorbing a healing amount equal to 25% of its target's max health. When summoned, the Gossip Whisperer gives minus 45% accuracy for its target for as long as the target has Gossip Whisperer Fiends. The effect can't be cleansed. Gossip Whisperer Fiend generates a clone of itself to nearby enemies on every turn. I do like that function. It is only taking 25% health to get rid of it, but once you have 2 and they start spreading, so you get for 2 of them, you're going to need a 50% healer to get rid of it. A lot of healers might be around the 45%, so they're not quite going to get rid of it, and then it's just going to keep spreading, giving the negative accuracy. There are a few ways to overcome fiends at the moment by having the Mega Minion heroes. There's some healers that will get rid of fiends, such as Esme. I know she's a bit outdated, etc. And Vari possibly, yes, gets rid of fiends. Doesn't heal, but removes the fiends. So there are a lot of ways around it, but those spreading fiends are probably the worst kind. So Again, something I wouldn't be using overly on defense. Average speed, very small snipe, but those fiends will be really annoying. But on defense, you can bring people to overcome that quite easily. Will be a lot of fun. If anyone who watches my war videos, you'll see I like using Omen, who has the spreading fiends who also give insanity. But yeah, once you spread those fiends and they're doing a little bit of damage, these ones aren't actually doing any damage at all, but they get the minus 45% accuracy. So just means the enemy team will be quite hampered and you'll get a lot more time to get your shit together to get the win. So yeah, a couple of... I'd probably say, even though he's slow, Andy J is probably the best of the two. Yeah, it may prove me wrong. I think that's just not overly great. Costume bonus for Flip doesn't change him too much. 50% health from 45. All allies bypass defensive buffs. Very underrated red healer, I would say. Now he's got the costume bonus. Brings his stats up in line. All allies get 55% critical chance for 4 turns. That is great, as the critical hits now in war, etc., take the maximum health off. So just something to consider. Anything that's increasing that critical damage is great. Can be used for Titans. I did used to enjoy Flip when he first came out, but he got outdated very, very quickly. Does some things similar to Phenexa. Phenexa had some nice passives and bonuses. No, Flip, if you've got him at maxed already, the costume will be fantastic. So again, a lot of heroes going on. There's a lot of things happening in the game. Keep those epic hero tokens for the secret mimic if you can. Oh, we'll just have a look at my Titan loot while we're on the go. 16 star and we got nothing. Oh, fantastic. A few Titan spines there. Anyhow, we also have the Brawl on. So remember to do your raids, collect your reward once you're up to 50 raid wins. So much going on. The WWE special guest event is still highlighting our screens. Yeah, as always, don't chase the hero unless it's me. And chase away. If only I was getting a percentage. No. If you do any summons, best of luck to you. I hope you get the hero you're after. If you enjoy what I'm doing, gently press the subscribe button. Give your kitty a scritch for me. Have a good one.